when I arrived here, I got to the airport, and the first thing that happened is that there were 3 or 4 press people, I think, behind me in the line, who were saying, have you seen David Bowie yet? And I said, yeah, you can't miss him. He's just over there. He's got a green raincoat on and bright red hair.
Yeah.
And so they turned to me and said, is that David Bowie? And I said, yeah, I think that's him. And they went off, and the poor guy got hassled for a bit.
Oh, moon of Alabama, it's time to say goodbye.
Yes, it's time to say goodbye.
We've lost our good old mama.
Yes, we've lost our good old mama.
And must have little girl, you know why. Oh, moon of Alabama, it's time to say I'll be the same. We've lost our good old mama. And that's the girl, you know why, you know why, you know why.
You used an old Shakespearean quote, that the world is your stage. Have you used the world as your stage, do you think?
No, I think it's been straightforward theatre with music. It wasn't that innovative, except that it hadn't been used in rock and roll before.
Right.
It had been used in every other theatre form, but not rock and roll. And as rock and roll was on a stage, it seemed that it would be worthwhile trying to combine the two.
Okay, so can we go down to, say, Golden Years? Golden Years was a very interesting song. How come Golden Years? I mean, what possessed you to write that?
Well, that was part of an album, Station to Station.
Right.
And Station to Station dealt with a character called the Thin White Duke,
Right.
who was a European living in America who wanted to get back to Europe again. So the Golden Years, the whole feeling of nostalgia on that sort of a déjà vu thing about the album had to be apparent. And Golden Years sort of summed up his whole nostalgia for Europe.
Right. Fame.
Fame was a bitter little song about management, which became very successful, and I was astounded at the time.
Well, can you explain more about Fame? Because, I mean, like, a lot of people read a lot into Fame.
Well, what happened is that John Lennon came to the sessions that I was working on in America, and we had been talking about what it was like to be managed and why. Well, John had already broken free, of course,
Right.
and I was breaking free at the time of management, and it sort of was an obvious little thing that we should get hold of. What happened really, Carlos Alomar, my rhythm guitarist, had a riff that I'd been using for foot stomping, the old rock and roll. Everybody young and old learns how to rock and roll. And we sort of said, let's take that riff and then write something over it.
Right.
It was Carlos's riff. And then John was playing, and he kept on coming up with,
I'll give you the guitar.
like that. And I said, oh yeah, right. This is John Lennon saying aim. Aim. And I put an F in front of it, and that was it, really.
So a rock star going into movies, which, you know, many have tried, you're one of the most, well, you are one of the most successful to go make that transition, probably for what you are. It's
just talent.
No, forget the talent. Do you want to go into?
I'm a creep.
Is there going to be more movies in the future?
I don't know. I mean, I've just done one, Just a Gigolo with David Hemmings.
And Marlene Dietrich.
Yeah, Marlene Dietrich. Well, Hemmings directed. Marlene Dietrich
Was in it.
Oh, fantastically. And I was in bed with Kim Novak, and I carried a pig, and I die in the end, which is, that's how it starts. But I won't make any decisions about doing any more films.